This polar bear was so lonely that he actually made a snowman to be his friend. From that day on, they were inseparable. The polar bear would pose the snowman and interact with him like a real companion. Sometimes he'd cover the snowman's eyes and play hide and seek. At every meal, he always let the snowman eat first. The snowman would hold out his hands to refuse, so the polar bear would happily eat everything himself. He even took the snowman skiing with him. Suddenly, a cave appeared ahead. The polar bear quickly ducked down. He made it through safely, but half of the snowman's head was knocked off. Later, they wandered into walrus territory. The polar bear picked up some chunks of ice and gave the snowman a pair of tusks. He even put a set on himself. The polar bear mocked the walrus's appearance. The walrus tried to charge, but was held back. That only made the polar bear more smug. Suddenly, a blast of hot breath hit his face. It was the walrus leader. Terrified, the polar bear immediately removed the tusks. At night, the polar bear and the snowman lay on the ground, gazing at the northern lights. Suddenly, a shooting star streaked across the sky. The polar bear excitedly shared the moment with his friend. But life doesn't stay peaceful forever. The next day, the polar bear woke up to an unusually bright sky. He lazily got up, only to see that the snowman had already begun to melt. The polar bear tried to reshape him, but the temperature was simply too high. So he picked up the snowman and carried him into the shade, thinking that would stop the melting. But unexpectedly, the ice beneath them cracked and slowly drifted away from the main ice island. From the distance, the polar bear could still swim to the shore, but the snowman would be left behind. After hesitating for a long time, he finally gave up on leaving. He truly couldn't bear to be lonely again. The polar bear kept repairing the snowman, but the snow continued to melt. Realizing there was no turning back, the polar bear cried in heartbreak and held tightly onto what remained of his friend. Time passed little by little. The ice floe beneath him kept shrinking. In the end, the snowman melted into a puddle of water. When the polar bear opened his eyes again, he found himself already on land. He gazed into the distance, still unable to forget the snowman. He walked along calmly, when suddenly he saw a snowman ahead. He immediately ran over to take a closer look. Just as confusion set in, there was movement on a nearby hill. Another polar bear was pushing a huge pile of snow toward him. The moment their eyes met, two lonely and frozen hearts were warmed at the same time. They gently touched noses. Luckily, they were of opposite genders and could have cubs of their own. From that day on, life would become incredibly beautiful.